What is up, everybody? We are out at the racetrack for the final points event of the season, Drifting the Plains 5. The layout this event is a little bit more wide open. It is like a giant figure eight around the entire track, so it is meant to be a little bit of a faster layout. We will see how that goes. I am going to experiment a little bit with running third gear. I have the tire pressure set at about 40 pounds right now. See if it'll take it. It should, because the corners are pretty wide open, rear clips, rear zones or outer zones, so we should be able to throw third gear with no problems. I already went through tech inspection. We're all good to go. Driver's meeting is all done. Gonna go out, run some of the first laps of the day, see how the layout feels. The last event was the 10K shootout out here, so a lot of rubber is laid down on the track. It could potentially be very fast and very grippy. We'll go out, run some laps and see how it feels. All right, we're going out for our first lap. I'm actually gonna start in second gear. Just have to start more higher up in the RPM and then shift into 3, because those first and the 1, 2, 3 cones is actually pretty quick, but I should be able to shift into 3 and get enough speed to clutch kick pretty hard into that main sweeper for the first corner. Not what I wanted. Oh. I broke something already. It's like, oh no. All right, I'm doing a solo lap this one. The last one I had a chase, went off track. I did not break the car. Luckily, I just had a tire that was protecting a drain scoop up and get stuck in my fender in the back. Scared me, but we're good. I'm just gonna run this in second gear. Not gonna try third yet. Gotta at least get the lap layout right. Much better. That last lap was a much better. Got at least one solid lap under my belt. Keep on going. I probably won't try third gear again until maybe a little later when I'm more comfortable with the layout. Through that middle section, it is quite a long stretch from that rear clip all the way over to this rear zone, so we might end up having to jump to third. We'll try it out a little bit different later. Another good lead lap under the belt. Now we're going for a chase. It is competition day, Drifting the Plains 5, the final points event of the season. Everyone is looking really good out there. This layout is very fast. After my little mishap on lap 1, everything is all set to go. Nothing broke, everything was good. I just kind of sucked up a tire that protects a drainage, like a drainage pipe out there. It just, the tire sits over it. I hopped onto that and it sucked it up into the fender. Nothing was broken, everything is a-okay. I did not attempt to do third gear the rest of the day. I just ran second gear with the taller tire, and that seems like it's gonna work. Kind of just position myself properly on the track, and it is very fast, very consistent, and I'm filling all the zones where I need to. So just continue that today. We got an hour of practice, and then we go right into competition. Stay consistent, have fun, and just do my best. Conservative chase. He goes crazy hard into him.
always, we will go down the line. We will say fourth, third, and then we do announce first. So let's get to it. In fourth place at DTP 5, presented by Evolution Fitness, out of Ironton, Minnesota, in the S14, James Cragen. In third place, out of Elko, Minnesota, in the S13, Ole Rumshen. And in first place, your champion of DTP number 5, Mark Bellinger. Mike Bellinger takes home second place. Do the girls jump with them? Yeah! All right, well, we gotta do what we gotta do. Once again, it's 1, 2, 3, jump. 1, 2, 3, jump. There we go.
We are back home from Drifting the Plains 5. The Miata is still in one piece, just barely. I had a few technical difficulties going into top 32 battles. On the way out to grid, getting ready for battle, it started to rain a little bit. I no longer have a soft top in this vehicle. I don't want the interior of the car to get soaking wet. I also take my passenger seat out, which exposes the ECU on the back firewall of the Miata. That is an expensive piece that you need in the vehicle, and you need it to be operating properly. Ran back to the pits, grabbed the hard top, put it on, ran all the way back out to grid. The car was then kind of nice and toasty, and smoke started to roll out on the turbo side of the hood, and that is not good in any type of vehicle. Popped the hood open, and I saw oil kind of leaking out from the oil return line off the bottom of the turbo, and it was spitting it all over the downpipe. That is very bad. That is a fire just waiting to happen. Now, I was only maybe 3 battles away, so I had to run back to the trailer, grab a wrench, grab rags, try and wipe it all down and get it cleaned up and tighten that drain line so that it wouldn't continue to spray oil everywhere. So I'm all flustered and really worked up going into battle. I was basically like tunnel vision, just concerned with the car. I didn't perform how I should have performed, made an error in the lead, dropped a tire, and missed a zone completely just from being worked up. Drifting is such a mental game. You have to be on the top of your game every time you go out on track, and I just made a mistake, slipped up, and it cost me the battle. Now I'll show you kind of where that is so you guys know what I'm talking about. On the turbo, you have the oil feed line, or the high pressure line that goes up in the top side of the turbo, and then underneath is the return. It is a much bigger line because there is no pressure on that side. It's just gravity fed back to the pan way down in the bottom down there. Well, where it was leaking was right here, so it's about 2 inches away from the turbo, but that was like spitting back that way to my downpipe, and it was spraying all over this shield that I have here, and this gets really hot. So there was oil all the way up covering this, so I had to wipe that all out. You can kind of see this white, that's from the lettering on the back side of my glove, because I was going in here with a rag to get this all clean, and it actually still feels like oil on there too. But it was all over back there, all over the steering shaft that goes down in here. And then if you come underneath, you can actually see there's still oil dripping off the subframe onto the concrete. This concrete was nice and dry before pulling in here, and then on the steering rack, it is wet with oil.
and then all the way back up there where the frame rail comes down from the strut tower, that's all soaked in oil right now. Even the control arm and the bottom of the coilover is all wet with oil right now.
So before Drifttoberfest, which is coming up in just a few weeks, I'm gonna get that all cleaned up. I'm gonna take off the oil drain line off of that fitting, make sure it's all clean, make sure the threads are all cleaned out, and get it nice and tight so it's sealed and it doesn't come loose. Now I'm gonna have to do a complete nut and bolt check on this entire car. I've said it in the last couple of videos of having to do a nut and bolt check on the car, and I only check little things that I know kind of vibrate loose. But now there's things coming loose that have never came loose before. I lost both exhaust bolts behind the rear diff on that small section back there. Both of them shook loose, and the exhaust was basically just hanging there with an exhaust hanger on Friday night. So I had to run into town, grab a couple of exhaust bolts, and then also that drain line has never shaken loose before. So I'm just gonna have to go through literally everything on the car, lift it up, take all the wheels off, check everything under the car before this next event. I don't want anything falling apart or breaking or getting damaged at all. So I just need to take some time and actually go through the car. It's just a really good idea to make sure things are tight so you're not having any issues like I came across before competition that really set me back. I got knocked down from 4th place in points down to 5th. Last year I finished 7th in points. This year I finished 5th. Last year I also had said that I wanted to be able to make it on the podium for this year, which I did that. I met my goal. Maybe wasn't as far up in the podium as I would have liked to be, but hey, it's still 5th place in points out of a lot of competitors that competed in the series. There was a lot of progression from a lot of drivers. That made for a lot of really good battles and a lot of good battles to watch as well. Not just driving against some of these people, but also seeing these people compete and make it a long ways in, especially the limited comp. A lot of people worked their way up and improved a lot. If you have not seen the other Drifting the Plains events, I will link that playlist up here for you guys so you can go and check out all those other events that I have done this season, plus the 5K event as well. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.